Meet Me at the Art Café. Written by Sue Mcdonagh. Read by Charlotte Strevens. The moral right of the author has been asserted. Chapter 1. The middle-aged couple had been dithering over their order for ages, lemon drizzle or toasted tea cake. Joe could hardly blame them. Everything looked and tasted wonderful at the Art Café. Pinning her "take your time, I have all day" smile on, Joe's eyes slid towards the panoramic windows that gave the cafe its wonderful view over the beach. Even when the blue-green sea was beginning to rumple into colourless waves, as it was now, blurring the divide between sea and sky on the Gower Peninsula and signalling rain, the coastline was always stunning. Joe could hardly remember a time when she knew nothing about South Wales. Winter had turned the corner into spring, and there had been a steady flow of trade. Since her boss, Lucy, was poised on the brink of TV stardom, people visited as much in the hope of seeing her as for the food and drink they were all so proud of. "Hello, when you're ready." The man rapped on the counter and she jumped. "Cappuccino and a pot of tea." Flicking a glance over his shoulder at his wife as she found a table, he muttered, "And one chocolate fudge cake." "Good choice. It's delicious." Joe smiled. "Would you like a second plate and fork, sir?" "I'm not sharing it," the man said, without a trace of humour, his eyes tracking the cake as she slid it onto the plate. "She said she didn't want any." That hadn't been the message that Joe had understood from their overheard conversation, but she clamped her lips together and got on with the order. Her mobile phone, stashed in the pocket of her apron, buzzed just as she turned the steam wand on, spitting scalding water onto her hand. Ouch! Whirling to run the cold tap, she read St. Michael's Primary on the screen and fumbled the accept button. Her little boy's school. They never rang. "Hello, this is Miss Morris," she whispered. "Is anything wrong?" "Our order," the customer reminded her sharply. "I'm so sorry, I'll have to call you back. I'm at work," Joe said hurriedly into the phone, cutting the call. She could barely hear the secretary anyway over the tap and the still steaming nozzle, despite the woman's habitual peremptory tone. Despite her stinging hand, she assembled the tea tray with an apologetic smile to the customer, unreciprocated, and returned the call as soon as he'd sat down. "Everything all right, Joe?" Her other boss, Richard, looked out from the other end of the counter where he was restocking the
Sample complete. Ready to continue?